With Andrew Bunger. And Andrew, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Okay, talk to us about some of the applications here of the Palm Oil Council, their work that they're doing, and the applications of your part in this whole process.
Well, palm oil actually can be used in many different applications. It can be used as a replacement for trans fat, which is a key issue here in the United States right now. It's a natural product, and it doesn't require hydrogenation because it's naturally solid at room temperature, which is a key to remember when you're looking at different applications. For example, the cookies that Kasim held up earlier. It's something that you wouldn't be able to make with just a liquid oil. You need a solid fat to get the functionality of that cookie. And to do that naturally, palm oil is an excellent substitute.
Yeah, I was just mentioning just before we went on film here that I use a Smart Balance product, which is the butter, which is just absolutely outstanding. And I was mentioning here that because food is healthy for you doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to taste bad, because American Palm Oil Council here has a lot of wonderful products that are fantastic.
No, right. Quite the contrary, actually. Palm oil is an actually excellent tasting fat, and used in cooking applications, it gives a very nice light flavor, and it's something that is recommendable to anybody to use as a healthy cooking oil. It absolutely has. I mean, I think that you're right. That is a misconception in the industry that something that is good for you has to be bad tasting, and that's absolutely not the case with palm oil.
And you can use it in just about anything then, correct?
Yeah, if you look at, and getting back to trans fats, it is something where when you take trans fat out of your toolbox as a tool, think of it like a tool that you can use in different applications. Once you take that tool out of your toolbox, you need to find some substitute for the trans fat. It's very functional. It's very stable for cooking. It has gives you good shelf life in your products. And so when you go away from that, you need to get that functionality. Trans fat is excellent because palm oil is excellent because it is a naturally occurring zero trans fat, stable at room temperature, stable in your product when it goes on the shelf. So when you look at the range of applications, everything from baking and frying and spray-on applications, center creams, whipped toppings, palm oil is excellent in many, many different applications.
Yeah, I'll attest to that, ladies and gentlemen, because last night when I was making my dinner, I was making some salmon last night. I just put some of that Smart Balance on top and on bottom, and it was fabulous.
Yeah, no, it's terrific. I mean, Smart Balance is a terrific product. It's had palm oil from the beginning. In fact, it was formulated to eliminate trans fats using palm oil specifically, and that's where it's a terrific product, flavor-wise and stability-wise.
Now, are companies in the United States catching on to using these type of products now and substituting these for their products that have trans fats in them, according to your knowledge here?
Right, absolutely. Well, what's happened is we've seen on January 1st, 2006, it's required that trans fat be labeled on retail products. So when you go into your store and you pick up a bag of cookies or margarine, you'll see on the back of the label that it has a certain percentage of trans, a certain percentage of saturates, and a certain percentage of monounsaturates and polyunsaturates. And what happened is in that first phase in the retail industry, the producing companies wanted to get rid of the trans fat, and that was the first phase, and that happened last year in 2006. The next phase is this year in 2007, after New York City banned trans fats in restaurants and food service industry. Now that's the second phase that's occurring in the industry, and so what's happening is all the restaurants now are looking for a substitute for the trans fat that they were previously using. So this year we'll see palm oil over the next 3 to 6 months introduced into many restaurants that basically you'll find everywhere across the country, because it's not just New York City, it's many cities across the country are banning trans fat, and not even only from a legal standpoint that they're not going to be allowed to use it, but it's also good. I mean, it's good for you, and it's something that many restaurants are asking for naturally now, that they want to do this. It's nothing that the government is forcing them to do.
Oh, that's really big. When it starts to go into the restaurants, and once it starts catching on in cities, it'll start to spread, and the consciousness will start to grow, correct?
Absolutely, and it's already out there. I think that's one thing that's important for consumers is when you're in a grocery store, look at the labels. I mean, education is key. Look at the labels, understand what you're consuming, understand that palm oil is a good part of a healthy diet, and also in restaurants, while there's no label to look at there, it's something to understand that that's being introduced now currently across the country, and that you'll be able to have that healthy choice when you go to a restaurant.
So the applications then are pretty simple. I mean, you can buy these products and just apply them and start immediately applying them to your way of life.
Oh, absolutely. It's out there now. You mentioned the Smart Balance margarine and many cookies. Many foods already have it there. And like we said, if you go to the store and you look at your products, you'll find palm oil on a lot of the products there already. And coming soon in restaurants, you'll have it as well. Over the next 3 to 6 months, it's being rolled out all across the country.
Yeah, that's really fabulous, because once it starts to catch on and once people start to understand the applications of palm oil, where it's at and what products it's in, then it's really going to start to take off here. I think there's going to be a lot of strides here in 2007.
Absolutely, and it's something that is consumer driven. It's something, if you have the consumer ask for it and ask their local restaurant, are they using palm oil to cook with, or talks to their, for retail products, ask the companies that are producing those and pushes them in that direction, then those companies react and they move in that direction. And that's something that we're seeing right now.
It's really great. This is fabulous work that the American Palm Oil Council and you and Doctor are doing here to bring a consciousness to a public now that demands more information about what they're putting into their bodies.
Absolutely. I think it's something, it's education. You know, that's the key to anything, is good education. And when the people understand that palm oil is a healthy and good tasting part of their diet, then that's something we're going to move in that direction. So.
Well, much continued success here in your association with the American Palm Oil Council with your work here. They're doing great work. After this interview, I can't wait to have one of those with some of the with some of the palm oil in there.
I've been looking at them throughout the interview here, so I'm going to have one as well.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you here at the American Palm Oil Council booth at the Natural Products Expo 2007. This is Ray Ibarra. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.